Once upon a time, in a cozy village nestled between rolling hills, there lived a boy named Milo. Now, Milo was a quiet and bashful boy, but his shyness had nothing to do with being without friends. You see, Milo had plenty of friends. In fact, almost every kid in the village was his chum. He just didn't say much. But what Milo lacked in words, he made up for in music. He loved to make up songs and play them on his little keyboard, and his melodies were so pretty they sounded like a daydream. Now, Milo's mom always told him how gifted he was, and even though he never took the credit, secretly he knew she was right. Every morning when the sun peeked over the hills, Milo would wake up with a new tune in his heart. It was like magic, and he spent his days humming and playing it over and over until he could play it perfectly. Then as soon as the sun went down, his memory of the melody would vanish, leaving behind only a whisper of notes. But that was all right because every morning brought a brand new song, and Milo couldn't wait to get up and discover what it was. One morning, however, something strange happened. Milo woke up and found that his special melody had vanished completely. Not a note nor a phrase remained. Now, this didn't worry Milo at first. He figured that maybe he just hadn't woken up early enough to remember it. So he waited till the next morning, but his song still hadn't returned. And by now, Milo was starting to feel blue. Maybe he had played it too much and worn it out. Or perhaps the melody had flown away, tired of always being kept a secret. Who knows? As Milo pondered over what to do, suddenly a magical voice echoed through his room. To get your song back, it said, you must let others hear it. But before Milo could reply, the voice vanished. Now, Milo didn't know where the voice came from or how to get his song back, but he wasn't about to give up. So off he went into the forest to find whoever needed his music. The forest was everything Milo loved. Tall trees created a tunnel of leaves overhead, dappling the ground with sunlight. Fluffy clouds drifted lazily past, casting playful shadows on the mossy stones, and the gentle breeze hummed a peaceful tune. As Milo walked deeper into the woods, he felt lighter and happier. This was the perfect place to find someone who needed a good tune. But after a while, he realized that no one was around. There were no birds singing, no squirrels chattering, and not a single butterfly fluttering past. It was as if the forest was asleep, and Milo was starting to lose hope. Maybe his music wasn't special after all. Maybe it would never come back. Feeling disheartened, Milo flopped down on a nearby log. But just as a tear rolled down his cheek, a tiny ladybug landed on his finger. Startled, Milo looked at the insect and then at his keyboard. Could this be the someone who needed his music? As the ladybug crawled onto his keyboard, its tiny legs dancing on the keys, Milo closed his eyes and started to play. The notes floated through the silent forest, soft and sweet, and the ladybug seemed to sway to the music. Was this what it needed? Had Milo's music helped? He didn't know. As the last note faded away, the ladybug flew into the air and disappeared among the trees. And just like that, the forest came alive. Birds chirped merrily from their nests, squirrels chattered excitedly, and butterflies fluttered among the flowers. All around him, nature was celebrating. Overjoyed, Milo knew that he had found the someone who needed his music. His melody was returning, but as the day wore on, the notes he remembered became jumbled and faint. The cheerful birdsong faded into the background, and Milo realized that he needed more than a ladybug to bring back his tune. He needed all the creatures of the forest, all the animals and plants, all the big and small things that made nature so wonderful. He had to share his music with them all, and so Milo set off to find them, his keyboard bouncing happily beside him. First, he came across a family of deer. They were gentle and kind, and Milo played them a lively jig that made them prance and twirl. Then he found a group of rabbits playing by the stream, and he played them a cheerful tune that made them hop and skip with delight. Further on, he met a wise old owl who was dozing in a tree. Milo played a soft lullaby that made the owl blink slowly and smile sleepily. All the animals loved Milo's music, and as he played for them, his melody grew clearer and stronger. But he wasn't done yet. He had to find someone very special. Deep in the forest, he heard the soft tinkling of bells, and following the sound, he came across a clearing. There in the center stood a magnificent oak tree, its branches heavy with age and wisdom, and beneath it sat a woman with flowing hair and kind eyes. She was ringing a set of silver bells, and her gentle laughter echoed through the trees. When she saw Milo, she smiled warmly and beckoned for him to come closer. As Milo approached, he could feel the magic all around him. The flowers seemed to glow with an inner light, and the trees rustled softly as if whispering secrets. With a deep breath, Milo sat down at the base of the oak tree and started to play. The notes flowed from his fingertips, no longer hesitant or unsure. They were clear, strong, and filled with joy. As the music filled the clearing, the woman with the bells closed her eyes and leaned back against the tree. Her lips curved into a wide smile, and a single tear rolled down her cheek. When the last note faded away, she opened her eyes and looked at Milo in wonder. "Your music," she whispered, "it is truly a gift." And in that moment, Milo understood. This was the someone he had been looking for. This was the person who needed his music the most. He had finally found the missing piece of his melody. But as the woman reached out to touch his shoulder, she vanished, along with her magical oak tree and the silver bells. Startled, Milo looked around, wondering if he had imagined it all. And then he heard it, a beautiful, clear, and strong voice echoing through the forest. It was his song. The melody he had been searching for had returned, more amazing than ever before. Overjoyed, Milo jumped to his feet and started to dance, twirling and leaping as the music filled his heart. He had found his song again, and it was all because he had shared his music with the animals, the plants, and the magical beings of the forest. As the sun began its journey home, Milo left the forest and walked back to the village, his melody echoing behind him. He couldn't wait to show it to his mom, to tell her about his adventure and to thank her for always believing in him. When Milo got home, he rushed to his mom, his eyes shining with excitement. He told her about his journey, about the magical beings he had met, and about the beautiful song that had returned to him. His mom listened patiently, her eyes filled with love and understanding. And when Milo finished his tale, she hugged him tightly. "Oh, Milo," she whispered, "you have a wonderful gift. And now it's even more amazing than before. You see, our talents don't shine when we keep them hidden. They grow brighter when we share them with the world." Milo thought about her words, realizing that she was right. He had been keeping his music a secret for too long. He had been afraid to show it to others, afraid that they might not like it or worse, that they might tease him for playing silly tunes. But now, he knew that wasn't true. His music had touched the hearts of everyone he had met, and in doing so, it had become even more beautiful. From that day on, Milo was a changed boy. He wasn't just the shy kid who played in his room anymore. He was Milo, the gifted musician, and he wasn't afraid to show it. He played his music for everyone in the village, for the children at school, and for the animals in the forest. And wherever he went, his melody followed, bringing joy and happiness to all who heard it. And that, my friends, is the story of Milo and his magical melody, a reminder that our talents shine brightest when we share them with the world. The end.